Welcome to Storytime with Miss Andrea, reading on behalf of the Clearview Library District. As always, before we read stories, we have to get our wiggles out. Can you stand up for me, please? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my ears. And I wiggle my nose. I wiggle my shoulders. I wiggle my chin. I stretch my arms wide, and I pull them back in. I wiggle my elbows. I wiggle my knees. I hop like a bunny. And I smile and say, cheese. Now I have no more wiggles left in me, and I'll sit on the floor as still as can be. So there is a holiday coming up on Saturday or Sunday. Does anyone know what holiday it might be? What shapes do you see here? Hearts. And what color is this? Yeah, red. It's Valentine's Day. So our book today is Click, Clack, Moo, I Love You. It's by Doreen, Cronin, and Betsy, Lewin. It is Valentine's Day on the farm, but there is work to be done before the big dance. To keep the pigs healthy, Farmer Brown cleans the pig pen. To keep the donkey happy, Farmer Brown stocks the stable. To keep the animals safe from foxes and raccoons, Farmer Brown mends the fence. Little Duck worked hard too. She tied balloons to everything. She hung streamers from everything. She strung sparkling lights between everything. She made hearts out of anything she could find. When Little Duck was finished, there was paint on her face, glitter in her wings, and a valentine for everyone. Can you see the glitter? That evening, Little Duck greeted each guest at the door. The chickens arrived first. Quack, quack, quack. Little Duck handed each chicken a valentine. The chickens handed her a casserole. Who arrived next? The pigs. Quack, quack, quack. Little Duck handed each pig a valentine. The pigs handed her chips and salsa. Who arrived next? Sheep. The sheep arrived fashionably late. Quack, quack, quack. Little Duck handed each sheep a valentine. The sheep headed right for the chips and salsa. The cows had a more formal affair and were out for the evening. The cows had an invitation, said, "Join us for the second annual Divine Bovine Ball. Formal attire, please." When the music came on, the chickens danced with the chickens. The pigs danced with the pigs. The sheep danced with the sheep. And the mice did the hustle. On the other side of the fence, at the top of the hill, a little fox heard the music. She perked her ears up and called, "Yip, yip, yip, yip." Nobody answered. But there were streamers in the trees. Little fox climbed down the hill. She called, "Yip, yip, yip." But nobody answered. But there were balloons to lead the way. Uh-oh. Should a fox be going to the barn? Little fox trotted down to the fence. She called, "Yip, yip, yip." Nobody answered. But there was a trail of hearts to follow. So Little Fox dug a hole. Little Fox arrived at the barn, covered in streamers and glitter. She called, "Yip, yip, yip." The chicken stopped dancing. The sheep stopped dancing. The pig stopped dancing. The mice hustled right out of the way. And right into the hay. Why are the mice going to the hay? They're hiding, right? Because sometimes foxes eat barn animals. Let's see what happens. Little Fox called again. Yip, yip, yip. Little Duck was not scared. She greeted the new guest. Quack, quack, quack. She handed Little Fox her last valentine. Little Fox handed her a valentine right back. Yip, yip, yip. Quack, quack, quack. Duck turned the music up. Yip, quack, yip, quack, yip, quack, quack. What are they doing? They're dancing, you're right. The chickens danced with the sheep. The pigs danced with the chickens. And the mice kept right on hustling. Do 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 do. Everybody danced with everybody until the cows came home. The end. So since the mice were doing the hustle, I will put a link to a fun disco dance that you can do at home. But first, we are going to stand up. And can we make a heart shape with our hands? So my fingers, my top fingers are rounded, and then my thumbs come to a point, so it kind of looks like a heart. Let's make a heart with our hands. I have a little heart, and it goes thump, thump, thump. It keeps right on beating when I jump, jump, jump. I get a special feeling when I look at you. It makes me want to give you a hug or two. Let's try that again. Make a heart with our hands. I have a little heart, and it goes thump, thump, thump. It keeps right on beating while I jump, jump, jump. I get a special feeling when I look at you. It makes me want to give you a hug or two. Fantastic. Have a seat for me, please. And Little Duck decorated with streamers and hearts and balloons. So we're going to do a rhyme about a balloon. I had a little red balloon, and I blew and blew and blew, and it grew and grew and grew. I tossed it in the air, and I didn't let it drop. I bounced it on the ground till suddenly it popped. Let's try that again. I had a little red balloon, and I blew and blew and blew, and it grew and grew and grew. I tossed it in the air, and I didn't let it drop. I bounced it on the ground till suddenly it popped. Excuse me. All right, let's get our clapping hands out and say goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as high as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as low as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as fast as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as slow as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as quiet as we can. Goodbye. For those who might want it. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as loud as we can. Goodbye! Thank you so much for coming to Storytime today. I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.